How you guys doing? Good, 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 good. My name is Kenneth Boggs. I'm the CEO of Kenneth Boggs Custom. I consider myself as a fashion architect. You've probably seen, a lot of our styles probably on your favorite Netflix shows, celebrities, football players, basketball players, the whole 9 yards. Our style is predicated on remain humble, but still let them know. Okay, and our goal is to create people like their own story, right? So I want to show you guys a couple local people that you might know around the way. Maybe you guys know a couple people here or whatnot, but just showing you guys what kind of style we have. Anybody know this gentleman right here? Colin Saxon, yeah, he works down the street from here. But as you can see, our signature is a lapel pin, and we'll get to that later. But as you can see, what he has on his shoulder, it's a gold flower lapel pin. What about this gentleman? Say what? Puka, there we go. He just broke the rookie record about a week ago for Los Angeles Rams. Shout out to Puka. He's an amazing, amazing gentleman. Okay. Anybody seen a movie called Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money? Based on a true story? This guy right here I'm suiting up, Lee Steinberg. He's known for being a top agent for someone in Kansas City. Take a wild guess. Come on, sorry. One person in Kansas City to think about. Ain't much in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes. One of our clients, Lee Steinberg. I love this guy a lot. He's just a straight gentleman. Let's go. Uncle Shay, as you can see, what I mentioned before is our lapel pin. You can see that he has that on there while he's on the show. He goes through rotation between four suit guys, but you can tell which suit is ours. If anybody saw DJ today, anybody saw DJ walking around here today? He looked real classy, huh? DJ, you mind if you could just come up here for a second? I don't mean to put you on the spot, my man, but love this dude. This dude is super cool. But I wanted to show, I want to show you guys something real quick. Okay, so as you can see, DJ, obviously he has these big shoulders on him, right? Okay, so the goal is, like I mentioned before, as you can see the peak lapel, what we put here, looks like a V12. You come in there with some power, okay? As you turn this way, we do a double vent, okay? So when you're around people who own suits, people who are businessmen, you start to know who has a custom suit. I'm button this up real quick for me. Okay, you see my man, he doesn't have a belt on. Okay, so when you have a custom suit, it's supposed to fit you. And then you can see here on the side, turn here to the side. Because he's a big dude, so he may fluctuate up and down the weight. You can loosen this and tighten this up from here. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate it. Okay, today I will be talking about vision. I'm somebody that grew up in South Central LA. I grew up in Crenshaw. I grew up in a single parent household. My mom, me, and my 7 siblings. And then one thing about me, I've always been a visionary. I always look at things totally different than people in my neighborhood. I grew up poor, but I never had poor dreams. I ended up coming to Utah on a track and field scholarship. And one of the biggest culture shocks for me moving to Utah, what do you think it could have been? You may think, but you could be wrong. You're actually wrong. One of the biggest culture shocks for me moving from LA to Utah was when I saw a father with his son, people were married, and I saw entrepreneurship everywhere. I never forget when my grandfather, he asked me a question. He said, KB, do you know what family means? I was like, yeah. You know blood thicker than water. He said, absolutely not. He said, family means forget about me, I love you. That stuck to me ever since I was a kid. Being out here in Utah, people out here are very, very selfless. I remember people trying to pick me up, going to school. I had some Chuck Taylors on and some cargo shorts. I never been to snow a day in my life. But the cool part about it is somebody kept trying to pick me up, like, hey, you going down the street? I'm used to getting ready to run to get up out of there. But I mentioned that I came out here on a track and field scholarship. I think we all know who this man is, right? He ran the what, 100, 200? Anybody know his times? Who said what? 958, yeah, man, he's actually really good. That's impressive. And in the 200, 1919, very impressive. But my vision when I was on the track, changed my whole perspective. When I think about track and field, I look at it as the closest metaphor of life to me, because when that gun goes off, you got one shot. You run counterclockwise. You're running against time. Our time is precious in life. You have lanes. You got to have tunnel vision. Obviously, my expertise, it was the 110 high hurdles. And I realized I'm going to go through obstacles in life. On top of that, if anybody has ran a 400 before, it's the hardest thing in the world. Give it a try. So this is one lap sprint. I ain't talking about a mile. Run 400 meters full sprint. It's very, very humbling. But none of this could have happened without having the vision of discipline. And when I think about discipline, for me, discipline is having the ability to do something you don't want to do, but it has to be done, whether you like it or not. And it goes along with this: accountability, responsibility, and understand the laws of consequence. I knew that I wanted to have a vision of life. I wanted to do something different. I've been at a crossroad before in my life. The yes and no. I wanted to learn, how can I be a man? How can I do something different? And I realized that a smart man once told me, he said, KB, I'm not going to teach you how to fish. I don't have time for that. I'm going to teach you that you can own a pond. Take my mind from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness. And I realized it's not the things you say yes to that makes you a man, it's the things you say no to. And this goes for ladies and gentlemen, ladies as well, one thing I end up understanding that in order to be a man, you have to meet a man. And sometimes that man may not be a biological father. He can be a coach, he can be a neighbor, he can be somebody who's a team leader. Because last time I checked, according to scriptures, Jesus didn't have a biological father, but he turned out to be a great man. So why can't I? Because after you meet a man, you have to meet the man, which is your spiritual father. And for me, one thing I end up studying very hard and looking at the characteristics of what an ideal man looks like, I was studying the Lord's Prayer. Because once we become like our Father who art in heaven, heaven is up, someone that our women and children can honor and respect. Hallowed be thy name. What that means is that you have to have an honorable and noble reputation in order to be a real man. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Real men don't wish things into existence, we will things into existence. I love the fact that Frederick Douglass said something so deep and so profound. He said, I prayed for freedom for 20 years, but I received no answer, so I pray with my legs. You can complain all day on the doors, but you ain't getting no check until you pray with your legs. And my favorite one I love the most is give us our daily bread. I realized that I was working in corporate, last job was Goldman Sachs for me. I was like, I gotta get up out of here. This ain't for me, I'm putting too many hours. This can't be life. But I realized I was cutting out checks weekly and bi-weekly. And so what I said to myself, I'm gonna become an entrepreneur. I'm gonna get my daily bread. My vision was to break the generational curse and start to see things different. I think one of the first books that we should buy is a passport. I think traveling stimulates consciousness, lets you be aware of what's actually going on in this world. Because we have a lot of Google scholars, YouTube scholars today's time, they think they know everything. But instead of researching, actually go travel and search instead of researching. Changes everything. Go learn different cultures. Because when I think about culture, culture is to the human what water is to the fish. And when I think about that, I think about being engaged, doing things as far as philanthropy work. And I've always visioned wanting to be involved in humanity. Because when we think about philanthropy, and I'll break things down to you as far as like etymology wise, Phil. Phil means love, anthro means human or humanity. So you have to love humanity in order to do philanthropy work. Some people like to do things as clickbaiting or anything in that nature, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'm not a fan of symbolic success. Because by the end of the day, you can pretend to care, but you can't pretend to show up. Community building is very, very key. There's too many tribes that I'll start to see, obviously, across the states, but we have to be a community. I've always been the type of person to realize that I'm not waiting for the White House to face my house. I'm asking my neighbor, what can we do here domestically so we can make change? And that all goes with understanding, bringing people together, because when you have more than enough, build a longer table, not a higher fence. Foods bring cultures together, like I mentioned before, but this all happens by organizing. When I think about organizing, it changes everything for me. Because we have replaced organization with information. Things got reduced down to a podcast, got reduced to a reel, but no one is actually out in the community actually trying to make change. Because when you look at the bigger picture, if you organize some, you get some done. If you organize a little, you get a little done. If you don't organize at all, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get anything done. For me growing up, anybody got role models? That's dope, that's cool. I always had an issue with this, my role model. And I tell kids this all the time, I am not a role model and I never will be. I'm a real model. I'm a real businessman, I'm a real college graduate, I went through real life situations, and I'm always gonna keep it real with you. Gotta know the difference. So let's get back into the suit industry a little bit, okay? Let me go back to my vision a little bit, okay? So I grew up listening to Motown music. Anybody know Motown music around here? Anybody listen? Oh man, my man Greg, what's up, champ? I see you right there. Okay? Anybody know this group right here? What's their famous song? There we go. I was like, man, I had to grow up around some brothers at one point around here. Yes, sir. Yes, Jackson 5, famous song called ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3. So you guys in the sales world, and you guys have something that's called ABC, which means what? Always be close and better believe it. Okay. In my world, it's ABCD, okay, which is appearance, behavior, communication, and digital footprint. Your new business card is your appearance. Okay, B, behavior, were you a good person, were you a-hole, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to say. C, communication, you guys know the difference between IQ and EQ. I know people with high IQ, but when it comes to EQ, when it comes to culture, they're dumb as rocks. Keep working on that. Obviously, you guys done a fantastic job knocking on these doors, and when I started to find out like how the sales industry worked, I'm like, wait, you have somebody sign up something, you knock on your door? I was like, no way. I was like, there ain't no way. You ain't closing me. Maybe you can, I don't know. And obviously D, digital footprint, how you look online. Okay? I wanna go back to a couple things in grade school, okay? How many states are there in the United States? Y'all don't know how many states is? Okay, there we go, we're getting somewhere, okay. Anybody know where the Beehive State is at? Right here in our backyard. So, for me, the way that a bee develops honey is the same way a man can develop to be a great man, okay? Bees land on flowers in different environments and extract the best from each of those flowers. That's called pollen. Take the best from each of those flowers, have it run concurrent with the greatness of itself, spews it into its own comb, and we eat it, and it's called what? Honey, okay? We get healing, we get nutrients, we get energy from it. So it is with a man. It doesn't have to be that one man. You should be able to see enough strong men around and land on them like a beam. The signature to my lapel pin, that's what it represents. We have fashion and we have a meaning behind it. And the vision of it is what took care of this. I say that because I end up learning from a lot of men around the way. I didn't grow up with my father. I understood that a smart man learned from his mistakes, but a wise man learned from others. It changed everything for me. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that right there. Gang banging? Nah, I'm good. I was like, women over here? Okay, cool, that's good. Like, this is exactly where I want to be. Because I got this, and I was taught this from Muhammad Ali. Most of us don't understand what he means by flown like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Okay? So focus on having great men around you, having good people around you. Oh, there we go. Make sure this still works. Good. Okay. So one of the things that I love the most in our industry, when you think of Lamborghini, Ferrari, Wells Fargo, McDonald's, why do you think I said those titles, those names? They're what? Well known? Why is it, why are they well known? Brand? Last time I checked, families around the world. Ferrari, family. Chase Bank, family. Rolls Royce. The list goes on and on. So, like I said, usually our clients, when they're in our suits, they never get, hey, you look sexy or cute. They always get, hey, you look handsome. And Kenneth literally means handsome. So shout out to guys like DJ and Greg today, looking like these handsome men around me. The vision that I had, I thought that I would never turn out to be the man I thought I would be right now. I had to understand that, I'm not really emotional about this, but it takes a boy to be somebody's boyfriend, but it takes a man to be somebody's husband. And I used to look at the world in black and white until my wife, she brought color in my life. Make sure you find somebody who's there to support you, somebody who's there to break that generational curse. Because when we think about having a significant other, I want you guys to think about what is the one gift you want to give them. Just think about that one gift. The gift I want to give my wife is the vision. If there's one gift I can give her, I'll give her the ability to see herself through my eyes so she can see how special she is to me. I want to finish this off with what my grandfather told me. He said, Kenneth, I know you haven't met your dad, and I know you plan on meeting him later on this year. But my grandfather said, Kenneth, you're born looking like your dad, but you die by looking like your decisions. I want to tell you guys, thank you for having me. I think Radix, you guys are amazing. I hope I came in here with the right colors with you guys this time. But you guys have a good night.